Hello, everyone. This is Daniel Plummer, the Crypto Kid, the Ganja Ambassador, brought to you by Howard Blockchain TV, sponsored by Addis Ababa Advanced Technologies Incorporated. Don't forget to hit the like button. Please comment as well as subscribe and follow. Give us any feedback that you feel would help improve this podcast. And we're started. Some great news before we get on to Bitcoin price predictions. Um, this is going to be recorded on Zoom and uploaded to YouTube. And I just discovered that I could go live on YouTube, but you have to apply for streaming. So I have to wait 24 hours. And then Russell Bronson texted me and invited me to an Instagram live. And I'm going to begin doing Instagram lives as well. Okay. This is Howard Blockchain TV. I'm your host, Daniel Plummer. A little bit about myself before we get started. I hold a bachelor's degree in economics and mathematics from UC Davis. I hold a master's in education and a mathematics teaching credential in both California and Washington, D.C. I recently, in 2019, I received my master's of science in mathematics from Howard University, and my thesis advisor, Larry Washington, Professor or Dr. Lawrence Washington, is at the University of Maryland. And the title of my thesis was Bitcoin Blockchain Technology and Secure Hash Algorithms, published by ProQuest. And you can get that. I think they're selling access to my master's thesis for, I think, 25 cents a quarter. Oh, man. So you better go on and get that, man. It'll really help you understand the origins of Bitcoin and where we're going today. Today is some Bitcoin price predictions. I'm going to open up my share screen so I can show you a little bit about technical trading. I've been doing technical trading since 1991. So more than 30 years, I've been following foreign exchange markets as far as currency, gold and silver bullion, stock options, and now Bitcoin. And it's been a great journey, and I'd like to share some of the things I've learned. Most of my knowledge is self-taught. I would go to Stacy Books on, I believe, Second Avenue and Market Street in San Francisco, and I worked at the Federal Reserve Bank as the American Clearinghouse Specialist, which means I cleared all the checks for all banks in the 12th district, and that would include Puerto Rico, Guam, the Philippines, and Hawaii and Alaska. Okay, so I'm going to open up my screen here and share my screen. And let's find out where we're going to go. Let's see if that does it. Let's try this one. Okay, I'm still learning how to use this share screen because what it does is it goes into your browser. So if you're trying to share your screen, I don't know why it does this automatically. It puts the panel where your browser is. So you can't actually choose any of the sites that you have open. And so you have to go and hide floating meeting controls. Okay. So that was successful. Oh, and then you press escape to get out of there. So I just learned that. So if you're ever doing some Google meetings and you want to share your screen, when you do that, it's going to move the zoom controls to a floating panel that's at the top that is actually going to prevent you from seeing your web browser. So what you do is you go to hide floating panels and it makes it disappear, and then you hit escape to bring it back. So I'm still in the learning process, but let's go here. And as we see, Bitcoin is at $67,458.90. Okay. And this is, as you can see, I have this, I have the price of Bitcoin and it gives me a graph. So let's look at it over the last 5 days. Really doesn't give you much. Let's look at it over the last month, even less. Let's go to 6 months. Now we're getting somewhere. So if we look at 6 months, we go here, and around February 24th, 2024, Bitcoin was down to $51,560. Then it goes up to $62,000. Then it goes to a high of 73,000 US dollars. And then it comes down to 67,611 US dollars. So this high right here of $73,135 is what is known as a head. In technical trading, we would call this a hit. So if I go to the right and I get to $67,611, and let me go to the left, that is $68,342. These are considered shoulders. So $68,342 is a shoulder. $73,135 is the head, and then $67,611 is a shoulder. If we continue on, we're back up to $69,711. It goes down, goes back up to $71,618. Then it drops all the way down to $66,419, takes a dip, comes back up. A couple of days ago, it was at $70,142. So what we can see is that over the last 6 months, actually over February, March, April, May. So for the last 3 months, Bitcoin has been oscillating between pretty much a low of 61,179 US dollars and a high of 73,000 US dollars, and really is hitting 70 to 71,000 US dollars, and then it's dropping. So it's just oscillating pretty much in a 10,000, 9,000 US dollar range. And that is typical. And if you study stocks, if you study stock options, foreign exchange, you'll see the same patterns. And this, and I'm giving you a lesson on, as a technical trader, how to interpret markets. None of this is that financial advice. I'm not a licensed broker. I'm not licensed by the SEC in any capacity, but I've been trading for more than 30 years. I've been trading stock options, gold and silver bullion, Japanese yen, Deutsche Mark, stock options, FANG, and as well as Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I've seen these patterns over and over for the last 30 years in different markets, whether it's the New York Stock Exchange, whether it's the Dow Jones, whether it's the other commodity exchanges, and it's typical of hedge fund investments as well as um, investment bankers. And investment bankers and hedge fund investors have billions of dollars. And when they see a high, whether it's a stock, foreign exchange, stock options, now cryptocurrency, if they see a market that has a high volume of trading, they will get involved in it. And since they can put in positions in the hundreds of millions of dollars and sometimes billions of dollars, they are what we would consider in social media an influencer. So they are clearly dictating and pushing the price up as well as down of whether it's a stock option, whether it's Bitcoin ETFs, whether it's foreign exchange, gold and silver bullion, other commodities, gold contracts, future contracts on oil. This is their typical behavior, and they will keep it in a range. And they trick small investors. I've been a victim myself, that once it has a lot of steam for a bull market and you think it's going to break out of that high, which would be pretty much 70 to 71,000, as soon as it gets close, that's when they will place a lot of puts, which are selling options. And it's the option to purchase. So basically, what they're doing is selling down the price, and they're taking the option to purchase in this case, Bitcoin ETF at a lower price. So when it's going towards 70, 71,000 US dollars, investment bankers and hedge fund investors will then place orders to purchase it around 65,000 US dollars, which will push the price down 5 to 6,000 US dollars. And they have a lot of cash reserves, so then they can go in and get out of the ETF contract, the more volatile contract, and then purchase Bitcoin outright. If you're looking at stock options and you're looking at FANG, you're thinking Apple is going to hit 140. And so it's at 137. You're like, oh man, you put some stock options in at 140 US dollars. And then the investment bankers, the hedge fund investors, hey, little one, stop that. Okay, we got Crypto Kitty in the background going crazy. And, he's excited. And they'll go in and place an option to purchase Apple at like 131, $132, and it's currently at 137. You begin to place some stock options to buy it at 140, which are going to be out of the range. It's going to be extremely cheap to do that. So you go all in, and then they put in a $30 million position to purchase Apple at 131. Then they come in with their cash reserves and they purchase all of that stock at 131, wipe you out, wipe me out, and then they start pushing it back up again towards 135, rinse and repeat. The SEC has caught on to these games, these shenanigans, and has called for an investigation into these large hedge fund investors. And then the warehouse where all of the positions and the tapes are being stored all of a sudden ignites and catches on fire, and there goes the evidence to convict these white collar criminals on Wall Street. And this is just a common game. They do it over and over and over. So you got to be careful about that. Let's go, before we get out of here, let's go to 1 year. So if we go all the way back a year ago, to June 5th, 2023, Bitcoin was around $30,000. Then we go all the way up to January. Bitcoin is at 39,900 US dollars. Then it hops up to 52,277 US dollars on February 20th, 2024. And for the last 3 months, it's been between pretty much 62,000 and 70,000 US dollars. So my prediction is that it very likely will continue in this pattern throughout the summer, because this is a presidential election year. President Trump is pro Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So I'm glad that we have him, supporting us. I'm a Howard University graduate. I was at Howard University during his first presidential 4 years, and I'm looking for that call from President Trump to be his White House chief of staff, because he knows my work, he knows what I've been doing, and I've been in his corner since 2015, and I always knew that he would be successful. So my belief is, as Biden is totally against cryptocurrency, and is using the DOJ to allow the SEC to go after Binance and other cryptocurrency platforms, as well as designers. And President Trump and the Republicans are pro cryptocurrency. They are against a centralized cryptocurrency that can be controlled by the Federal Reserve Bank. We need to totally get away from the Federal Reserve Bank. It's a private bank, and it's a corrupt institution, and we need to stop using the US dollar. And the Federal Reserve Bank has hijacked the US dollar and made it worthless by getting off the gold reserve. So this fiat currency is worthless. The US dollar is currently worthless. Okay. And BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, they realize this. And internationally, the US dollar is used to pay off debt, but BRICS has resorted to the Chinese yuan, and those countries have enough economic buying power to move away from the US dollar. And the Federal Reserve and the US Treasury are slow to adjust. They're going to continue to play this game, and right now they're playing a losing hand, and that's just how it's going to go. And you're going to continue to see Bitcoin in other countries, especially the African and Asian countries, adopt Bitcoin. South American, Hispanic countries are now adopting Bitcoin, and that's going to be the future. The future is going to be immediately primarily Bitcoin and Ethereum contracts. And then from there, other blockchain cryptocurrencies are going to emerge. And I know I've designed my own, and my time will come. And but right now, I want to continue to preserve the integrity of Bitcoin and Ethereum, and advocate for President Trump and the Republicans to continue to protect Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other cryptocurrencies. The US House was wise to pass ETFs. So now the SEC can't do a damn thing. Why? Because the legislative body, the House of Representatives, and the Senate that make up Congress are for cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. Okay. So you've heard it from me over and over. The future is crypto. All right. So there we go. I was able to hit the exit button, and immediately it took me out, and now I have my panels back. So look more for Bitcoin price predictions from Daniel Plummer, Howard Blockchain TV, sponsored by Addis Ababa Advanced Technologies Incorporated. And once again, remember you heard it first from Daniel Plummer. The future is crypto. All right, the Crypto Kid is signing out.